In the past decade, global migration has reached unprecedented levels due to factors such as armed conflict, political instability, economic hardship, and climate change. People from various backgrounds seek refuge, safety, and better opportunities by migrating to countries that promise stability and potential for a brighter future. However, as the flow of migrants continues to increase, many nations have responded with increasingly restrictive immigration policies and large-scale deportation measures. This reaction stems from a complex blend of domestic pressures, rising unemployment rates, social tensions, strained resources, and political concerns over national security and identity. The growing number of deportations, affecting millions worldwide, has sparked intense debates around the globe, with critics and advocates divided over the ethical, legal, and practical implications of these actions. Mass deportations are often justified by governments as necessary for safeguarding local resources and preserving security. However, these policies come with severe human costs. Families are torn apart, individuals are sent back to potentially dangerous or impoverished situations, and already vulnerable communities face further instability and fear. For many countries, these deportations are not merely an enforcement of immigration law but a part of a larger strategy to shift public perception of migrants. In some cases, these moves are driven by populist or nationalist sentiments, framing migrants as a burden or even a threat to the cultural or economic fabric of a nation. This approach often overlooks the essential contributions that migrant populations can bring to the economy and society at large. Furthermore, these policies can exacerbate existing inequalities and injustices by failing to account for the humanitarian needs of refugees and asylum seekers who face persecution in their countries of origin. Before starting, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Number 1. United States. The United States has one of the most comprehensive immigration systems, with policies that have fluctuated widely between administrations. The recent surge in deportations has been driven largely by concerns about border security, crime, and economic impacts. Under both Democratic and Republican leadership, the U.S. has seen initiatives to deport undocumented immigrants, especially those with criminal records. While these deportations often target individuals without legal residency status, family members, including children, are sometimes affected. The U.S. maintains a significant number of detention centers, sparking debates on human rights and the ethical treatment of migrants, particularly when deportations involve children or asylum seekers. Number 2. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has ramped up deportation efforts, particularly against migrant workers from Africa and South Asia. With a labor force heavily reliant on foreign workers, Saudi Arabia's strict kafala sponsorship system gives employers control over migrant workers, making it easy to deport individuals who violate visa terms or employment agreements. In recent years, crackdowns on undocumented workers have led to large-scale deportations, and harsh living conditions in detention centers have raised international human rights concerns. Saudi authorities argue these measures are necessary to reduce unemployment rates among locals and to prevent illegal immigration. Number 3. Italy. Italy, one of the major entry points for African and Middle Eastern migrants into Europe, has taken a stricter approach to immigration under recent administrations. The Italian government has pursued mass deportations in response to what they describe as overwhelming migrant flows and a lack of resources to support newcomers. Italy has implemented stringent maritime patrols and has negotiated agreements with North African nations to send migrants back to origin countries. These actions have drawn criticism from human rights organizations, as many deportees face uncertain futures and possible persecution in their home countries. Number 4. Greece. With its location at the crossroads of Europe and the Middle East, Greece has become a major gateway for refugees and migrants. However, the Greek government, facing economic constraints and social strain, has intensified deportations, especially for those who do not qualify for asylum under new European Union policies. Greece has received substantial EU funding to improve its deportation infrastructure and has faced criticism for alleged human rights abuses, including inhumane conditions in detention camps. The Greek government, however, asserts that these deportations are necessary to control border security and maintain social order. Number 5. Turkey. Turkey hosts one of the largest populations of Syrian refugees, and while it has previously maintained an open-door policy, recent economic pressures have led to an increase in deportations. As public sentiment shifts, the government has started deporting individuals, often citing lack of legal documentation or involvement in illegal activities. Turkey has also established safe zones within Syria where it encourages deportees to return. Human rights organizations have criticized these deportations, citing unsafe conditions in these zones and potential breaches of international asylum laws. Number 6. India. India has deported large numbers of migrants in recent years, with a particular focus on Rohingya refugees from Myanmar and Bangladeshi nationals. The Indian government justifies these deportations by citing security concerns, with officials claiming that some migrants pose a threat to national security. India has also increased scrutiny over illegal immigrants and has tightened immigration policies to curb the inflow of undocumented workers. However, critics argue that many deportees face persecution in their home countries, and India's actions have been widely criticized by human rights organizations. Number 7. France. France has increased deportations of migrants, especially targeting those from North Africa and the Middle East. Recent policies have focused on repatriating individuals who have been denied asylum, and French authorities have enacted measures to expedite the deportation process. These actions are part of a broader European effort to streamline deportations, but they have raised concerns about the treatment of migrants and asylum seekers. France faces criticism from various advocacy groups that argue the deportations violate human rights standards, as some deportees are sent back to regions with high risks of violence. Number 8. Malaysia. Malaysia has implemented strict immigration controls and has deported large numbers of undocumented workers, primarily from neighboring countries like Indonesia and the Philippines. The government claims these measures are necessary to protect the local labor market, but the deportations have led to overcrowding in detention centers and accusations of mistreatment. Human rights organizations have documented instances of poor living conditions and limited access to medical care. In response, Malaysia has signed bilateral agreements with neighboring countries to facilitate deportations, but these efforts have not quelled criticism of its treatment of migrants. Number 9. Israel. Israel has adopted a controversial approach to migrant deportations, particularly targeting African asylum seekers from countries such as Eritrea and Sudan. The government has offered monetary incentives for voluntary departure and has established detention facilities for migrants who refuse to leave. The deportation policies have garnered criticism from international rights organizations, which argue that many deportees face grave dangers in their countries of origin. Israel's government maintains that it must control its borders and limit illegal immigration, but its policies have sparked domestic and international debates on the rights of asylum seekers. Number 10. Pakistan. Pakistan has recently heightened deportation efforts against Afghan nationals and other undocumented immigrants. The government argues that these deportations are necessary due to security concerns, particularly given the high number of Afghan refugees residing in the country. Pakistan has faced challenges managing the influx of refugees from neighboring Afghanistan, where ongoing conflict has displaced millions. Despite criticism from international organizations, Pakistan has continued to deport migrants, citing national security and limited resources as primary motivations. Conclusion. The issue of mass deportations reflects a complex and challenging global reality where national policies, economic pressures, and humanitarian responsibilities often collide. Each country discussed here has its reasons, be they security concerns, economic challenges, or social pressures, for initiating deportations, yet the impact on individuals and communities is profound. These policies underscore the urgent need for a balanced approach that respects national interests while safeguarding human rights and dignity. As migration continues to shape our world, it's clear that effective solutions will require international cooperation, understanding, and a commitment to humane treatment for those seeking better lives. Whether these deportations ultimately achieve their intended goals or lead to unintended consequences remains to be seen, but the conversation around them will only grow more critical in the years to come. This is it for today's video. What do you think of our video? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Thanks for watching.